Tonight I want to talk about things I've never seen. You see, I'm conducting a study, and the theme of the study is to see and recognize whether we all share the same experiences or not. I've never seen a cow bark like a dog. I've never seen a tree cut another tree down to make a home for itself to live in. I've never seen a giraffe drive a car. I've never seen a shark decide to leave the water and to live on dry land. I want you to put it in the comment section if you've ever seen or witnessed any of these 4 examples. I got a question. If you were to witness an elephant flying like a bird, would you describe this as abnormal? I think that's fair to say. But what is the definition of abnormal? Abnormal: deviating from what is normal or usual, typically in a way that is undesirable or worrying. So I think it's safe to say that yes, if I saw any of these examples that I've given, I could describe them as abnormal. Abnormal is not normal. So I'm trying to figure out why trees do what they were created to do and animals do what they were created to do. But as men, we have a problem honoring what God created us to do. God has created man in his image. We are the only creation with the ability to manifest. Now, I know this term manifest is very popular right now, but the principle of this term is actually biblical. It's not new. The definition of manifest: clear or obvious to the eye or mind. Or to put in layman's terms, to make a thought reality. You see, everything that exists in your life is a product of your thought process. God thought, "Let there be light." He spoke light, and light was. We are the only creation on this earth that can think, then speak, and then it happens. This term manifest is very powerful because it's deeply tied and married to your belief. Mark 11:23 says, "For verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith." That's manifestation. And no matter how much I really want to stay on that subject and how good it is, I have to stick to the topic tonight. God created us in his image. We have power that we take for granted or mishandle every day. First, let's talk about taking this power of being created in his image for granted. When you are controlled by any man, force, entity, or lie of this world, you are taking the power of God for granted. When you are controlled by any man, force, entity, or lie of this world, you are taking the power that God has shared with you for granted. There is nothing in this world that God intended to bind or limit the glory of the power of God in your life. There is no man or woman in this earth that has the authority to bind the glory and power of God in your life. You were born with God's DNA coursing through your vessel. And right here is where we get into the spiritual realm. You were chosen to be born here with a purpose and destiny. You see, spirits run this earth, but nothing can operate in the physical on this physical earth without a house, body, or vessel. Well, you might say, just exactly how do spirits run the earth then? I'm glad you asked. Spirits roam throughout this earth seeking a house or vessel so that they can interact in the physical. The spirit of depression, lust, envy, jealousy, greed, murder, death and destruction, etc., etc. They need a house for them to operate in the physical. This is why the gift of life is precious, and the power and responsibility of being made in God's image is important, because no other creation possesses this gift. So when we allow any other men, forces, or lies of this realm to control the light and divine power that we have in God, we take it for granted. We are taking our power and ruleship for granted. And most of the time is through ignorance that this occurs. God says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." For this reason, people attach themselves to cults. And we throw those words knowledge and to know out recklessly, because to know is to believe. Because there's no way that you're going to tell me that you believe that you've been given this divine right, power, and authority, and you're going to subject yourself and allow someone to dim or imprison that light. The number 2 point that I was going to make tonight is that we mishandle this authority. How do we mishandle this authority? The Bible says God made man in his image. But the problem I see is we have a bunch of men running around making God in their image, taking God and trying to shape and mold God to fit their sick and twisted imaginations. Yeah, I know God made me to be a man, but I just feel like a woman. Yeah, I know God made me to be a woman, but I feel like a man. Yeah, I know God says that it takes a man and a woman coming together to produce a child, but I'm going to choose to let these dark forces and lies choose to dim my light and make me believe a lie that I want to walk in anyway. And I'm going to make God fit my image. I'm not going to be what God defined and assigned me to be. I'm going to misuse this great authority and responsibility to redefine what God has created. What if one day you had a strong taste for an apple and you went to an apple tree to get an apple, but the apple tree produced cow manure? Because the apple tree woke up one day and decided, I don't want to produce apples. I don't feel like producing apples. Yeah, I know what I was created to be, but I don't want to produce apples. Ignoring the assignment that the Creator has placed that apple tree here for. You and I both would say and agree that that tree has lost its purpose. And when something loses its purpose, it is no good to anyone. In fact, it can only contaminate and infect the other apple trees. You see, it cannot rightfully produce any other apple trees because it has lost its purpose. So many of us are walking around here reproducing the spirit of rebellion against God. You see, I could carry the spirit of loving another man in a sexual way, but me and that man cannot lay down and produce another life form as defined by God. But what we can do is recruit, infect, and affect another vessel and spread this spiritual seed, which now becomes a mindset, causing a person to believe that that's who they really are and that's who they were created to be, even to the point of being ready to live and die on that lie. God has created us in His image, not the other way around.